Good morning, everybody. We are on a new venue, new day, and I hope we are all energized from yesterday's call of the political leaders, the discussions that we had with some of in the two panels. It really laid the sort of a stage for today and tomorrow. I'm very interested, quite pleased that today we'll have a lot more practical sessions that helps us to sort of dig deeper on some of the issues that were put forth and also how countries are dealing with it at different levels. So these upcoming sessions today and many of the side events at this acceleration conference provides examples of evidence-based good practices and also tangible results in combating hunger and various forms of malnutrition. You know, the question we all had when IFPRI and FAO were talking about this conference, the planning stage of it, we were thinking, why is this conference, why is this so important to have a conference? And the other one was, what is so important about this conference so that we can actually think through and really have a clear idea where we want to go about it. Because, you know, nowadays, conference these days have also becoming an industry. And I know many of you, even in the nutrition aspect itself, have attended many, many conferences and sometimes wonder, are they adding up to much? So in that sense, we really spent some time thinking about it. Now, with respect to on the why is this conference, yesterday's messages and the report that the UN agencies put forth very recently really shining light on the 821 million people who go hungry every day, and also the trend of increasing hunger and malnutrition really is a concerning one. So the issue that the report really puts forth is, if we really need to reverse this trend, we are talking about 185,000 people need to be lifted out of hunger and malnutrition every day. Today, tomorrow, and the day after, if we have to meet the 2030 goals. So it seemed a bit challenging, but yet the kind of inspirational stories and the commitment we heard yesterday gives us the hope that this is actually indeed possible. And it is also possible if we really focus on some real solutions. And often we also say, are there really easy solutions? Probably not. We heard a lot about the complexity of nutrition and also the patience needed. But also, let's be very clear that there are a lot of solutions. That's what we really heard. Now, the message yesterday that we got in terms of some of the country stories, I heard also in the outside of the main discussions, are they really valid for your countries? But again, the point is, how do we take one country experience and make it adapt to your own country situation? And that's something that we need to always kind of keep in mind. And therefore, bring those actual experiences, but adapt them to the way that your country and the continent feels fit. This new knowledge about real-life experiences will be essential to make rapid progress to the fight against hunger and malnutrition. And that's why what is this conference going to do? We really put the emphasis on knowledge, evidence, practical cases, so that can indeed become a dynamic place here to exchange that knowledge and ideas. We also need to make sure that multi-stakeholder partnership, not just the Ministry of Agriculture, as we heard, we also are talking about health ministry, education ministry, trade ministry, finance ministries, all being part of this if we really want to bring about the big change. And also not just national governments. We need the state governments. We need the local governments. We need the communities. And not just government, but also the private sector, civil society, research institutes, and the UN agencies and the IFIs. Even if we do not always work together on every topic or project, we do always need to understand the perspectives of other stakeholders. And that's a hard lesson, actually, I myself learned, because from the FAO, sometimes we talk about from one dimension. And in the regional office, for the first time, we joined together with ESCAP, WFP, UNICEF to really bring together for the first time a regional product on addressing food security and malnutrition. And that really helped us to appreciate and understand the different perspectives. And I think that is something that we all need to recognize. And also when we talk a lot about what governments and donors and IFIs can do, the increasing knowledge of the private sector, because that's where the actions are. That's where the money is already coming, and that's where the money is going to be. Unless we bring them big and engage with them, we are going to be sort of continue to use the old models. So going beyond and trying to find those realities is something how we have also designed some of the sessions, bring the public-private partnerships and good governance, for examples of some key features of the events today and tomorrow. We also need to embrace and understand change. Something from the UN agencies, I have to say, we have a hard time. And we need to understand the challenges and opportunities in our growing cities. You know, urbanization is a reality. Nutritional issues in urban settings is a new reality. Yet we don't understand it so much. So having to get a better understanding so that we really deal with it in a more concrete way is something that we are also learning more recently. So there are several sessions around that in terms of urban nutrition, the issues relating to obesity, and we have all these nourishing cities is another session that will really try to bring some of the issues faced by the city settings. We need also to understand the advantages and disadvantages of new technologies that are being applied to agriculture and food systems, and when appropriate, how to finance and upscale them. I think we should go beyond all these little pilots or little things that are happening, but what are those dynamic shifts that are happening? So thus there are sessions around innovation, new tools, and data. There's so much more that I have no time to describe here, but you have seen in your agenda sessions as well as the side events. So let me come and to close by saying that these 2 days, today and tomorrow, give us a unique chance to learn from each other and go back to our homes and our agencies and institutions with new ideas, new relationships, and new ways of doing things, so that we can also put some of these ideas to real work, and not just in a small way, but in a bigger way, and finding innovative, creative partnership. We should also be asking ourselves, during and after this event, how will each of us do things differently? And that's so very critical. It should not be we just all came, had a good time, and went back. Even if we decide one or two things individually to do differently, as institution or as government to do it differently, what would that be? And even when we close the session, we really hope as a group of participants in this nutritional conference that we can indeed take a huge, big step as a nutrition community to really do things differently based on these practical experiences that are coming out today and tomorrow. We are all responsible for achieving the SDGs. SDGs don't happen just like that. It's you and me and all of us together. And to make that happen, we all need to get to work. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy this event.